city of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. That's where we're originally from. And this is the newspaper review right here on TAV TV. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. If you're just seeing this for the first time, subscribe right now, turn on the notification so you don't get to miss out on our next episode. All right, we bring you the newspaper headlines every other day right here on the program. And today is not different. And to do the headlines with me right here on the program is Victor Sioko.
Thank you,
You're
sir.
welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's a Friday, so of course the weekend starts right away. Hope you are planning for a great weekend.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes, it's a very rainy Friday here in the city of Port Harcourt. And I know a lot of people are not finding the rains funny when it comes the way it did a while ago. But yes, we must move on. So let's get into the business of today and see what the headlines look like. And we'll begin with the Guardian newspaper. If you have a copy of the Guardian newspaper, you see this very beautiful art work or photograph of past presidents. And of course, the current one, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the others in some kind of white and black shade, while Bola in a very real picture. Depicting the very current, depicting him as the current president of Nigeria. Let's see what the headlines are saying on the Guardian. It says here, Independence Anniversary, Tales of Woes, Missed Opportunities, Unmet Expectations 63 years on. Alright, you find details of the 4 and 5. So you need to know the story of Nigeria as we celebrate her 63rd birthday in a few days' time. Please get on the Guardian newspaper to get the details. We also see here nationwide strike. Federal government dangles carrots. Stick to weaken Labour's resolve. You find that on page 6 of the Guardian. Why Nigerians must stop acting like spoiled brats by Adegoroye. You find that story on page 3. Mayasa Guba on easy calm as court hears Masiva's illegibility case today. You find story on page 29. Troops kill 191 terrorists, arrest 184 hoodlums, oil thieves. Page 30 is where you get details. Tax Reforms Committee collected 5 billion naira from FIRS, says NAMI. Alright, and lastly, telecoms operators threatening discriminatory tariffs to curb states' excesses. Page 15 is where details of that story is. Alright, Victor, let me come to you. What do you think about the current state of Nigeria? In a few days' time, Nigeria will be 63 years. Right here on the Guardian newspaper, there's this very big picture I was talking about. You can see where we have leaders. And of course, we see the map of Nigeria in the middle of this leader with cracked, parts of the picture, and you see the red ribbon trying to sew it together. Do you think Nigeria, will find its way back to its glory of its former years?
Yeah, Nigeria can find its way back to glory of former years. Oh, you made the mention former years. Oh, unfortunately. Unfortunately, okay? But yes, through good leadership.
Yeah.
If you can see the true leadership in Rwanda, the genocide that happened, that more than 1 million persons died. Oh man, it hasn't gotten that bad in Nigeria. We know that we can be able to bring ourselves back from wherever we found ourselves right now. Okay? But I want to make this known. Yeah, Nigeria at 63, if you can see the atmosphere is not that nice. Yeah. People are not excited.
Exactly.
Reason why the nation, the president, or the presidency has stated that the celebration will be on low key. Nigerians are not happy. Nigerians are not smiling. Things are getting tougher and tougher by the day. But aside that, just like the picture that is on the Guardian, I was just asking myself, who do I think is or was the best president Nigeria ever had since 1960? We all know that the problem of Nigeria is leadership.
Yeah.
We cannot shy away from that, okay? But I want to use this moment to. It's a difficult decision, but I think I'll give it to Olusegun Obasanjo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Why Olusegun Obasanjo?
Okay. Thank you. If we can take ourselves back to between 1999, okay, and 2007, think we had a very good time.
For the first democratically elected president after the Civil War, then he tried. He did some job right there. I think
And mind you, Nigeria had deteriorated very much with Sani Abacha. You can't take that away too. In as much as yes, some Nigerians will be like, see, we need to also call a spade a spade. Because Sani Abacha should be noted as a thief. But we as Nigerians will find it difficult
to call him
a thief. And that is the problem that we are facing now. Because people will commit a crime and they will be set free. People will commit a crime even if at the end of the day the judiciary manages, I'll use the word manages, to detain them or to put them in prison. Also what happened during the Buhari. It brought out some of those thieves.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about. For Obasanjo, yes, he is not a man of black and white as no kind of man. He had his issues, especially the Oni killings. I think he did not manage what happened there, but then economically, and that is how you raise nation: security, economy. Economically, Nigeria was doing good. And mind you, Nigeria was coming from a pit of debt. Nigeria was owing. And you can imagine a Nigeria that was owing, the team that was the president then was sending money out of the country.
Yeah. I mean, today they are still recovering money from those loans. Yeah.
And Nigeria was in actual debt. What happened? Obasanjo was able to gather his people. Very smart thing that made the Paris Club to cancel our debt. That is one side. What about the GDP? As at that time, our GDP was doing $550 or $180 billion per annum. As at that time, our military will go to another nation, go to Liberia and end the war in Liberia, end the war in Syria alone. My brother, a lot of nonsense has happened in this country.
Remember the coup that took place inside Sao Tome and Principe?
Yes.
And he went there and said, and he restored the government there.
That was when Nigeria, we called Nigeria the giant of Africa.
And when he was leaving office, he ensured that he had picked someone that would consolidate and carry on with his vision. Somebody that most Nigerians are still talking about it today and saying, he was a good man, he was a good president, but time didn't allow him, like nature didn't allow him to finish his tenure like that.
Just like you said, when he was leaving, although I am not for him giving us.
Yeah.
But let's also make mention that after his time, Yaradua came in, then from Yaradua, he still was the one that brought in Jonathan.
Yes.
Let's feel that I embrace that fact. Mind you, during the Jonathan era, we can at least know that Obasanjo was the one that put in the man that conducted the most freest election in 2015. Yes, we know that things happened, but we cannot compare what happened in 2015 to what happened in 2023. We cannot compare. Or 2019. We had the freest election in 2015 that a president, before announcement was made, he came out to accept defeat. And the ex-president to accept defeat. These are the kind of leaders that we want.
People that are about the interests of the nation and not personal interests.
Yes.
And not personal ambition.
Now look at when Yaradua came. Yaradua was able to bring peace in the Niger Delta. We don't do their programs. That made, as at that time, even during Obasanjo time, mind you, the oil production of Nigeria was not at its peak, but we had money.
Yes.
We had money that, as in, there was money to do projects. And then, during the time of him, yes, we talked about him bringing in Yaradua and Goodluck Jonathan, but mind you, it was then that Nigeria peaked with respect to crude oil production. From 1 million barrels per day to 2.6 million barrels per day. My brother, so I give it to him. Yes, we might not have all the whole time.
Yeah,
I give it to him. What about the GSM revolution? And people will be like, oh, come on, the GSM. GSM could have also come. Yes.
Yeah, they would say that.
But people have also been dragged.
Yeah,
Would have been
so
late.
much. And would have been in that stone age for a longer time.
Yes. And he brought them in. He had a very outstanding relationship with Thabo Mbeki of South Africa that made him to bring in businesses. Look at the likes of DSTV. Look at the likes of MTN, and we know that those guys are paying heavy taxes to this country. No matter what we say tomorrow about DSTV, no matter what we say tomorrow about MTN, these guys are paying off our bills. Look at our own. I don't want to mention it, but come on, let me keep it that way.
You already know. They already know. All right, well, Nigeria's story, it's, I don't know. It's pathetic that we now refer to past glories rather than what is happening now. Nigeria used to be a very powerful nation. That's how most of us talk about it these days. So, well, in celebrating 63 years, at 63 years, we're supposed to be a force at this time. We're still growing, yes, because even America, the model after and all of that took a lot of years to get to where they are today. America is hundreds of years older than Nigeria. But even at that, the times that we're in has given Nigeria more opportunities and more privileges to grow even faster than, because we're in a technical age, to grow even faster than, where America's coming from. But unfortunately, bad leadership and a whole lot of other factors have kept us where we are. We're just hoping that we get it right. We just began a new, leadership dispensation. We're hoping that they get it right, and we should be able to celebrate, a new year for Nigeria. But for this year, yeah, you're right. The atmosphere is just too calm, too quiet. People are not really trying to do anything about it. In fact, some people are going for nothing. That 1st of October is supposed to be Independence Day. But unfortunately, Nigeria itself has, gone through a lot of wounds, a lot of, things have happened in the country. But for the fact that we are still together as one, something to celebrate about. It's not all bad, but there's a lot more work to be done. And it starts from our leaders. Our leaders need to start to become more patriotic and more concerned about the nation that they say they want to serve than their pockets and their personal ambitions and their personal, how would I put it, like their personal interests are so much in front of the things that we expect of them more. They are more about amassing wealth than working and serving the people of Nigeria. That's one thing that needs to change.
If you can help me, give me just 2 minutes, okay? It is also in that time. It's unfortunate right now. Okay, look at the news that we heard yesterday. How can Nigeria be like say, as giant of Africa in gold, we are begging CAF to give us the right to hold a tournament? Up till now, Nigeria cannot host African tournament in the country.
Yeah.
Nigeria that hosted World Cup, World Cup, cannot host.
The whole world came here.
Oh my God.
The whole world came here. And then the nations fought with
the things have gone bad.
So bad. And it's unfortunate.
Look at, lastly, African Nations Cup. Ivory Coast is hosting this last one that will happen by January. Then yesterday, Morocco. Then the next one that will come later, they now say, okay, joint. Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. Hey!
Nigeria, we need to get back our glory. But well, we are hopeful as Nigerians. Look
at this ongoing national youth competition that is going on in Delta State.
Yes.
National youth competition, where you know that Nigerian youth on their own are special. Abule, they could not provide a class for Nigerian youth to sleep. Small kids of 9 years, 10 years can't get in a class to sleep.
It's not that they cannot. They don't want to, because some set of people have siphoned money. That's how it is. And the worst part, the annoying part about the situation in Nigeria is that when things like this happen, they don't investigate. When they investigate, they sweep the report under the carpet. Nobody goes punished. Nobody goes to jail for it. And then the matter, everybody moves on. Next year, you face the same situation, you manage yourself. That's how it is. That is very, very sad. All right, let's quickly move on to our next paper, and that will be the Vanguard newspaper for today, the 29th day in the month of September 2023. And we have as headline here, the top inflation. Manufacturers unsold goods up 45.4% to 272 billion naira. All right, the financial community. And recently, the manufacturers they've been complaining very bitterly, especially with the very rising figures in the dollar foreign exchange and the cost of production that's so increased for them. And then they are calling on the national on the governments to do something about the CBN and all the rest of them, and they're just looking at them. It is sad, but then they said unsold goods up by 5.4% to 272 billion naira. Right, find details on page 19. All right, to err is human, to forgive divine, says Obaseki, as he accepts Shaibu's apology. Interesting. Page 12 is where that story is. We also see Tribunal, Northern Youths warn against interference in Kano politics. And also the federal government declares Monday, October 2nd, public holiday. Alright, so make sure you enjoy the holiday as it comes. The sacrifices won't be in vain, Shetima tells Nigerians. And we move on to the very main headline. It says here, why you can't go on strike? Federal government tells NLC TUC. Says strike will be violation of subsisting court order. NEC appeals to Labour to suspend planned strike, urges patience. Ask federal government Labour to continue negotiations at state level. With no agreement with federal government to suspend strike, NLC says no scheduled meeting with federal government. The bank directs tanker drivers, petrol station attendants, orders to comply with October 3rd strike. CSO rights activists set to enforce sit at home. Describe petrol subsidy removal as self-serving policy of economic slavery. Alright, get page 5 to page 5, that's where details of the story is. We also see at the very bottom it says Economic Security Summit, Southeast governors, leaders resolve to end insecurity. More bad, I had no hand in singer's death. Mali, it's 6 is where details of that story. Live well, be happy, death calls on us daily. Reflections on human flourishing in Nigeria. Right, Ms. Ray, where you get that story of that article. All right. Let's go into our discussions at this time. Let's talk about the labor strike. The impending labor strike that is due to start on the 3rd of October. Yes. And Nigerians are like, is it going to hold? Is it not going to hold? Up to now, the labor is claiming that the federal government has not called them to round table for any kind of conversation or discussion as to whether they should go on the strike. And this is what we're offering people not to go on the strike. Let's come to a level term. But that hasn't happened yet. But they have gone ahead to say, based on a court order, a subsisting court order, the labor cannot go on the strike. What do you think is going on? I keep saying, what do you think is going on? Because Nigerians are beginning to ask, they're like, they want to support the labor, yet they feel like, labor is not going to do it. They're going to fall to the federal government's settlement. They don't trust the labor anymore. What do you think is happening?
Yeah, there's so much distrust going out there. Just like you mentioned, even the masses, like I was asking somebody today, and the person was like, come on, this strike, that labor, they are just acting. Once they just give them the money now, they just back down. So you find out that there's so much distrust happening between all spheres, all stakeholders in this matter. But then you ask, what would be the importance of the strike? You ask, check deeply, you find out that Nigerians are suffering, no two ways about it, okay? And Nigerians are also clamoring that the government, yes, ending fuel subsidy is something that Nigerians have long before the election. They've been wanting it before the election. Okay, almost every aspirant that you asked that time say that they were going to remove the fuel subsidy. But many times, some of them did not also let us tell. Some of them did not tell us that they will remove it later. They just say, I will remove it. Now the president, I remove it. Then they now went back to say, no, now, why would you remove it immediately? But that's the leadership we are also trying to talk about here.
Yeah.
Okay? But then, it will be so destructive and catastrophic if this strike goes on. Because the pen has said that they will be strike. There are also indications saying that the electricity distribution companies will also have their tools. Airports will have their tools. That will be a total shutdown. And mind you, why I want them to come back and deal with this, I don't want this strike to go.
I don't want to do it.
Because we are going down. So imagine a nation that loses about 1 week or two, depending on. For us to come back to this level again, might take 2 days, I don't know. Just like what has happened in the education sector, as they took that long stretch. Right? It impacts on the students at the end of the day. By the time graduates come out, they think that they are supposed to get, they will not learn it. So that is the bad part of this. So I just pray that they should come together. There are also indications or rumors going out there saying that on the 1st of October that Tinubu will be making more promises of palliative, more palliative. So
that's where I have to.
But why would
a lot of talking?
But why would this be on TV? Why don't you go and meet these guys that said that you guys are not meeting them? Meet them. The president should come and the labor minister and the landlord, they should come together and solve this issue. I don't want. This issue is not by television.
It's not. It's not. So Labour keeps claiming that the federal government is not saying anything reasonable. They just call them to engage them and waste hours of reasonable time without giving them any thing to hold on to. So if every day for the past 3 months you hear the same union saying the same statement on TV, on the newspapers and everything, aren't you going to change your strategy? And so you're doing the same thing without getting results, and you're still doing it. So does it mean that you're just giving out cheap propaganda? Like they talk a lot. This current administration do a lot of talking. Rather for us, we like it because the last one they were not talking at all. Neither were they doing anything. Oh, this one they have a lot of aides that are talking here and there, saying what black. But the president is talking, but no action. Too slow. The actions are too slow. Nigerians are in a very dire position. So what are you doing about this? So now the Labour is saying we are going on an indefinite strike. We're shutting down the entire economy. Which, like rightly said, is not good for our economy. What are you doing to our party? They are jumping to the court ruling. I don't understand how they expect a union that is saying that Nigerians are suffering and we want Nigerians, if they are not going to go on the streets on their own to protest, we are going to prompt them to do so. You're going to a court order. Do you want a situation where the Labour goes on this strike and people get on the street and we see another answers? What will your court order be doing for Nigerians? When Nigerians are already so hungry, they are ready to eat a whole horse. Maybe they will go to the House of Assembly and begin to eat those senators. That's when they will realize that they need to be realistic about what kind of engagement they are having with the Labour Union. And let's begin to see results. So even if it's as little as saying, all right, let's increase the salary, let's start from there. Let's increase the minimum wage by 20,000 naira. It is something the Labour will hold on to that and say we'll continue negotiations. This one is that they have not done anything. Lalong got into office months back. He's still confused as to what to do. I mean, it's very unfortunate that we have leaders. It has always been a problem of leadership. We have leaders that are so insensitive to the plight of Nigerians because, of course, they have backings upon backings, plan B upon plan B upon plan B for themselves. Every day we see them loot even more. So it's so sad, but we hope that this strike doesn't hold. I really wish that it doesn't come to be. And the governments of the current day, I thought they would be very, proactive. So if they were proactive by now, we don't expect the Labour to be saying what they are saying. We want to hear that, oh yeah, we had a fruitful engagement with the federal government team yesterday or today. But they want to react to what the Labour will do. And that's not good for us at this time as a country. I hope that will not be the case. All right, let's take a quick break now. Once we come back, we continue with our last people for the day. Don't go anywhere. This is the Newspaper Review. We'll be right back. right here on the Newspaper Review, and we want to thank you so much for watching up to this time. All right, we'll jump into our last paper for the day, and that will be the New Telegraph newspaper. We see as headline here: poultry farmers, price of chicken may hit 6,000 naira at Xmas New Year. Wow, 60,000 naira. Beg your pardon, 60,000 naira at Xmas New Year. All right, that's say price of eggs will continue to rise. All right, that's something people should worry about. Everything has gone up, but I don't know if this protection is talking about one chicken. I don't think it's one chicken. 60,000 naira. What kind of chicken is that one? Is it a goat? I don't know. But then
maybe a carton.
Okay, maybe something like that. But then whatever that is, it's troubling to know that poultry farmers have been crying for a long time about the increase of maize and the lack of availability of maize, and that has caused their production to go really high. The chickens are not eating very well. They lose these chickens to death and all of these things. So it's a cause of worry. You know, that's what we're talking about, the economy, both agricultural sector. Everything is on the downturn, and the response level of this administration is too slow, and it's beginning to worry what it costs. All right, let's continue with the headline to see here. Forex squeeze. Cardoso meets investors, promises to address hiccups. Also, pandemonium as works ministry star knock out minister. Wow. Page 5 is where details of that story is. Just by the side of that story, we see Obaseki accepts Raimu's apology, says to err is human. Page 5 is where that story is too. Kojoewela. Lack of unity of purpose among Southeast governors impeding productivity in the zone. Page 26 is where you get details. Gandhi had made northern routes to the threat against Indigo. Page 26 is where details of that story is. And to the main headline now, it says federal government to tax wealthy Nigerians to meet revenue target. Aims to achieve 18% tax to GDP ratio within 3 years. Page 3 is where you get details. You also see the beautiful picture of your man of Shakiri with Goodluck Jonathan and his wife as a state governor, and his wife at the recently concluded summit that the former president had in Bayelsa State. Interesting. Well, to get details on all of that story, pick up a copy of this New Telegraph to read up. At the very bottom here, we see Cardinal Buba, confusion as APC PDP candidates claim victory in tribunal judgment. Court fixes tomorrow for opening judgment. Also, Le Pen mobilizes members for October 3rd strike. Alright. Anambra, Imo camps strapped by NAF, not ours, says IPOP, as villagers gunmen free communities. And the crime is going to get that story. 45% of Kanu under 5 children stunted, under nutrition, improper breastfeeding, liable. Right. Very, very interesting story there, but pick up a copy of the New Telegraph to read all the details. Alright, let's go to this very, I don't know, I wanted to say funny story, but it's an interesting story that is talking about the pandemonium at the Ministry of Works. And this time, it was said that the staff of the ministry locked out the ministry. Interesting, Nigeria. In fact, there's nothing that cannot happen in Nigeria. Alright, well, if you need to know the details of that story, you will pick up the copy of the New Telegraph and go to page 5. What picture? Can you tell us, or just go over that kind of, you know, I'm yet to wrap my head around this kind of picture.
Okay, so what happened? The honorable minister was at the office as the Ministry of Works in Abuja. So he got in there by 9:30. And he found out that people haven't made it to work. So what did he do? He called the CSO. That's what we normally call them now, Chief Security Officer. CSO, come here. CSO, close the gate. And the CSO locked the gate. So nobody should get in. That if you are not coming by this time, that means you are not ready for work. So he went to his office and started this. Then the numbers were adding up at the gate. Then they reached out to the people that were inside to tell them what was happening outside. What then happened? I mean, the other staff. So they now rush to the generator. Nigeria. They now rush to the generator. I'm not happy to generator. Say, hit will deal with this one.
Hey God. Oh, Nigeria.
Hey.
Oh, man.
I hit will deal with him. They told him that since he locked the gate, that let them see how he will go out. And that was it. And the ones that were the Muslim brothers that were supposed to pray had to stay in front of the gate and make their prayers. The governor of Lagos State, Samuel, that was to come. He was to come inside the ministry, he got CBC. He could not make his way in, so he left. Then at the end of the day, the minister came out. And the minister said that he was not the one that told them.
Oh wow.
He was not the one that told them to lock the gate.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Okay? Hey! That wasn't what I told them to lock the gate. So they opened the gate. But they now started passing their message, their grievance. Can't you see that the economy is back? Can't you see that the economy is back? Many of us stay away from Abuja to get to this place. We must look for the best rate of transport to make it to the office. But Mr. Bule, you know the system. You know this company. See, you can't try that in a private.
No, you can't. You'll be fired.
Eh?
You'll go home.
You can't. So due to the issues that we are also having is because of some of our, let's say some of many of our civil servants are not doing their duties. Let's see. There is this, entitlement.
Oh yeah. You will not know until you go into any, government office, be it federal or state, to go and do something, maybe documentation or something, and you see that you go to a table for a job that the person is seated there to do, and the person is looking at you like, you need to drop it now. If you don't drop it, carry your paper, go and sit down. And they are ready to keep you there for 1 week. You keep coming until you give them that 1,000 naira or 2,000 naira. So for a common documentation, you could be spending up to 10K on different tables, depending on how many tables you have to go to get your documents out. So this is the now culture for most of these federal civil servants and state civil servants. And you can imagine the fact that they have to lock their boss in because he's trying to put them right. For me, it looks as though the wrong things have become the norm now, while the right things are now like you are the chosen one. In other words, you're the one fooling yourself if you're trying to do the right thing in Nigeria. So it's crazy. We have a system that is working upside down. So very unfortunate and funny situation. I want to thank you so much, Victor, for coming on the show. And to our viewers, you guys are the real MVPs. Thank you so much for watching up to this time. Don't forget to connect with us on all our social media handles. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and of course on X, formerly known as Twitter. So connect with us on all of these platforms. We're also on Threads. So yeah, if you want to follow us on all of these platforms, we'd love to connect with you. Until next time I come your way again, my name is William Sapule, and this has been the News Review here on TAP TV.